Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 1, and today we will present to you a case study of the CEO of Starbucks and the practice of ethical leadership and how they apply the ethical values in their company. But first, we would like to share what we have learned from Chapter 1, Ethics and Business. So ethics involves what is perhaps the most monumental questions any human being can ask. How should we live? Ethics is having to do with how we act, choose, behave, and do things. We refer to the fact that they provide an account of how and why people do act the way they do. Described as a normative discipline, ethics seeks an account of how and why people should act a certain way rather than how they do an act. Ethics concern an individual's moral judgments about right and wrong. It also examines ethical principles and moral or ethical problems that can arise in a business environment. So moving forward, here's the summary of our case. 1 year after becoming CEO of Starbucks, Kevin Johnson faced a leadership test when 2 black men were arrested in a Philadelphia Starbucks. The men were waiting to meet the business associate, but they didn't purchase anything while they were waiting. The store manager asked them to leave, and they refused, explaining that they were there to meet someone. The manager called the police because the men refused to leave, and the police arrested them. Another patron at Starbucks recorded the arrest on her cell phone, and it quickly went viral. In an interview after the arrest, the woman who took the video mentions that she had been sitting there for a while and she wasn't asked to leave even though she didn't order anything. Additionally, the video shows the business associate of the black men show up during the arrest, and he asked the manager and the police what the men had done wrong. The general public and those who witnessed the arrest labeled it as discriminatory and racist. The arrest led to protests and sit-ins at the Philadelphia Starbucks the days following the event.
So, the solution of Starbucks to this case is, the week following the arrest, Starbucks announced it would temporarily close 8,000 stores to conduct unconscious bias training, which they did on May 29, 2018. A month after the arrest, Starbucks released a new use of third place policy, which states that anyone can use Starbucks and its facilities without making a purchase. It also explains what managers should do if a customer becomes disruptive. With regards naman to our business and ethics is, creating an environment that is both safe and welcoming for everyone is paramount for every store. Pero yung ginawa ng Philadelphia Police Department was wrong. Regretfully, our practices and training led to a bad outcome. Sa business setting naman, individuals will constantly be asked to make decisions affecting both their own personal integrity and their social responsibilities. In business ethics, it investigates ethical questions that arise at the individual, organizational, and social or political level. As ethical responsible people, each of us should consider kung paano tayo makipag-interact sa business as individual consumers, individual employees, managers, executives, and citizens. For evaluating the ethical issue that arise to our case study, and also to help each of us become more ethical individuals, here's our other group mates to discuss.
What was the issue? The issue in the chosen case is the incident that happened in Starbucks, Philadelphia, which involves 2 black men who was waiting inside the Starbucks to meet a business associate. The 2 black men are not buying anything from the coffee shop. While they are waiting, the store manager asked them to leave. The 2 black men refused to leave, and because of this refusal, the store manager called the police to arrest them. Another patron at the Starbucks recorded the whole incident on her cell phone, and it went viral. According to the woman who recorded the video, She had been sitting for a while and the manager didn't ask her to leave even though she didn't buy as well. The public and the customer labeled this incident as discriminatory and racist.
Who did you engage with? The affected people in this issue are the following. The two black men arrested from the store. They are affected by the unethical practice of a manager of Starbucks Incorporated as they experience unvalued actions and discrimination. Second is the community around Philadelphia, USA. As what suddenly happened at the store, the most affected are the people that are nearly in the area and who's actually the primary customers, and in which possibly protests after the two men were arrested. Next is the local authorities. The police personnel were accountable for their action as well. They have no reason to arrest the two men as they are clearly don't do any acts of violence and harmful or dangerous to the people inside or outside the store. The loyal customers. Obviously, the loyal customers are affected by the issue. Their point of view or opinion can also be expressed and might discourage to continue to support the company. Next and the last is the company and employees. The company should take full responsibility for their actions of his employees.
What did you do? Mr. Johnson, the Starbucks CEO, made a public apology about the viral video which contained recorded arrest of two black men American in Starbucks in Philadelphia. The discriminatory act was done by the store manager. The viral video led to the public to protest and sit in the Starbucks Philadelphia. Mr. Johnson take the full responsibilities for his employees and make an urgent move. Number 1. He fired the store manager due to discrimination act. Number 2. He made a public apology which he discussed that the discrimination act done was not aligned to the Starbucks mission and vision. He outlined the investigation that he and his company will take. Number 3. Weeks following the arrest, over 8,000 Starbucks were temporarily closed to conduct unconscious bias training for the employee. Number 4. A month, a new Starbucks policy was released, use of third place policy, which allows anyone to use Starbucks facilities without making a purchase. And the policy also contains what the manager should do if the customer becomes disruptive.
What was the impact to the society and the environment? In the eye of the public, the incident shows as racist, inhumane, and discriminatory for arresting the men in the Starbucks stores without any violation. The CEO of Starbucks, Johnson's, make an immediate ethical move towards the employee of Starbucks on how properly address this kind of situation by giving them proper trainings, leading, and proper guidance. The CEO of Starbucks wanted the public to see Starbucks as a safe place and welcome for everyone, regardless of their race, culture, gender, and identity.
Starbucks is a well-known coffee shop for serving the best beverages in the world. The case where two black men were arrested while waiting for a meeting in Philadelphia. Starbucks became viral for a reason that some people show racism and discrimination to other races. This kind of cases is very alarming, especially to the black people who were involved in the incident. Hence, it would lead to tension between different races due to the unlawful discrimination happen. The effect of this to the environment is it can lead individuals to internalize the stigma against the other races. It manifests shame and low self-esteem. It can also trigger stress and depression as well as poor health. It is important to educate the employees to promote a work environment that spread awareness and word of diverse workplace.
In this part, we will identify what are the barriers, challenges, or points of learning did you identify.
Challenges. Since we are diverse, people will not get easily to cope up with each other because each of them have their own beliefs. This will reflect on your business because the employees may disagree with your values and culture. They will tend to follow you only if it's okay to them, but if not, they will follow what they believe in. So, this will be a challenge to your business. Another is that the employees may think that they are superior to each other because of their position. Since they are all the same when it comes to position, this will serve also a challenge to the company because the employees will only command another employee because they think they are superior. Learnings. Your employees are your greatest assets. Learn to invest in them. Employees' performance is critical for the overall success of a business. Employees can also be the face of a business. If your employee has a negative attitude towards your consumer, then expect that there will be a problem. Just like what happened in Philadelphia Starbucks. The video pertaining the incident was called out to be racist, and that would have something to do with how the employee treated the customer. As to evaluate the situation, maybe the customer wasn't aware about the protocols and was not given proper program on how to treat customers right. Clearly, there is a problem with the employee and surely affected Starbucks' reputation. People are designed to be different from one another. People are completely diverse. They have cultures that must be observed. That is why Starbucks made sure that their employees must be around the neighborhood or around the environment because they knew more about the place. Starbucks was created for everyone, for them to enjoy the luxury coffee and ambience. Employees must be properly educated about the culture and ethics of a certain place for them to avoid conflicts with the consumers. Leadership is influence, not authority. If you want to create future leaders for your company, then leadership must always be in your values. Leaders are born to influence others to bring out the best in them. Leadership is not something you can wear like a crown, but a value you must give it to others.
And that ends our presentation. Thank you for listening and keep safe, everyone.